It's the most wonderful time of the year, but also the most deadly for heart attacks. Research shows Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and New Year's Eve are the most common dates for heart attacks. Allina Health cardiologist Dr. Stephen Bradley is here to explain why and let us know what you can do to protect yourself. Thank you for joining us here this morning.
My pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, so tell me, I guess, why this is a thing. Why do heart attacks happen so often around the holidays?
Yeah, so certainly a lot of things are happening during the holidays, and we know that some of that is stress. So I heard in the last segment about the stress of shopping and travel, and that stress does increase risk. We know that it can constrict the blood vessels, raise blood pressure, and that's work on the heart, so increased risk. But that's not the only thing going on. We know that cold weather can cause similar things, and that increases the risk of heart attack. We know the classic story of somebody going out and shoveling snow and having chest discomfort. And the sudden effort exerted as a result of shoveling in the snow, that increases risk as well. So all of those things can contribute. And then finally, we know that viruses are circulating. Those viruses, like the cold and flu, can increase our risk. So it's important to do what we can to keep ourselves healthy.
So who is most at risk for this happening, and what are some warning signs that you can be on the lookout for?
Great questions. And it's important to recognize that we're all at some degree of risk. And so I start with my patients about talking about the foundation of a heart-healthy lifestyle. So making sure that we're eating a healthy diet, fruits, vegetables, whole grain, healthy fat choices, getting exercise, so really working towards that goal of 150 minutes a week of moderate to vigorous exercise. I talk about working hard enough that you get a little huffy puffy and can't sing a song, then you know you're working hard enough to get that exercise. And obviously avoiding smoking. So making sure we're doing those things. And then for folks who do have risk factors like high blood pressure and cholesterol, addressing those risk factors, taking their medications to reduce the risk.
Somebody at home might hear this, statistic and be kind of concerned about that.
Certainly.
What advice, I mean, you touched on the exercise and things like that, but for someone who's worried about this holiday season, what advice do you have?
Yeah, and I think it's important that I don't want people to be scared, but be aware, certainly. And we want to understand that there is this risk. And so for folks who are concerned, it's just paying attention. If they have symptoms that they might experience that are concerning, don't delay. I'm working next week, and my friends who are cardiologists are working next week, so don't think that it's not the appropriate time to get the care that you need and being attention. It's also important to do what you can to address these risks by addressing things like stress. So making sure you're getting good sleep, keeping up your exercise habits, and avoiding stress and keeping that to a minimum.
Yeah, we know that this can be a stressful time of year, so that's a good point. For folks on the other side of this, what can, if you have a loved one who is experiencing a heart attack or someone you know, what can you do to help them in that situation?
And those loved ones can be very important. So oftentimes patients will downplay the symptoms they might have, and a loved one can say, you know what, we need to get you seen right now. And certainly if someone has experienced symptoms like chest discomfort or chest pressures, to call 911. We want those medical professionals to be on site to help patients who might have a change in their health right suddenly and to be checked. So those individuals can help their loved ones in that way. And so certainly if there's a sudden change where somebody is unresponsive, providing that CPR is helpful too. So knowing CPR, providing that assistance, and always using 911 as that assistance for you.
Absolutely. So when in doubt, call 911?
It's not unreasonable. I think there are a lot of patients who may have chest discomfort, they get checked out and they feel somewhat sheepish because maybe it wasn't a heart attack, but it's much better to be safe than it is to be sorry.
Yeah, that's a good point. Thank you so much, Dr. Bradley, for joining us this morning. All great tips, especially during this time of year. So I appreciate you sharing your wisdom.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, thank you so much.